All right, today on The Balanced Life, we're talking about wealth in a recession. Now, what do I mean by wealth? I mean starting to build for yourself a lifestyle where your expenses are less than your income, and so that you start to have money left over that you can use to work for you. Remember, I talked about the book, The Richest Man in Babylon. I still have it sitting here. Talked about it, I think last month. Yeah, last month I was talking about it. And one of the lessons was live on 70%, pay your debts with 20%, and keep 10% to grow to work for you. So you find ways to invest it or put it into things where it will grow and multiply back to you. And so, in order to have wealth and to have things paid back, you need to have that surplus at the top. And today I'm kind of giving some ideas on how to get that, because we tend to live all the way up to our paycheck, don't we? This hopefully will help you. And please share your ideas below and smash the like button so other people can see this, and subscribe if this is the kind of content you would like to see. So first of all, start to look for waste. This can be you not using leftovers. Maybe your waste is you shouldn't be using plastic bags. You should use reusable. Maybe you're eating out too often. Maybe you're not planning ahead, and so you're having to buy convenience foods, which seem faster, but or easier, or not too expensive. But as they add up, a $10 meal at whether fast food or at the grocery store is $300 a month. That's one meal a day. If you do that for breakfast and lunch and dinner, you're spending $1,200 on food, as opposed to our family budget where two of us, well, actually, when it was six of us, we lived on $150 a week. So that was between $600 and $750 a month, and we ate well. So start to look for waste. Are you being inefficient with the way you do your errands? Is there a way that you could do it differently? Would it be better for you to sit down and have a $2 cup of tea at a coffee shop and wait for your kids to get done rather than spending $5 back and forth on gas? Are there things you could be doing and things like that? Maybe reading a book and drinking tea so you're a nicer mom when you're picking up your kids. Number 2, learn to think flexibly about money. Learn. I will be having some more videos later. Look in my archives, but even just in this last week, I was learning from somebody. I'll be sharing. It's probably going to take a year, because it's going to take a year to find out what really the benefits of what I'm doing are. So I hope you'll stay on our channel for this next year to find out. But I am learning how to think flexibly about money and not paying things the way that everybody else has always done it. There's a story, my husband brought this up when we were discussing it, about a woman who, when she made her ham, she would cut off the end. And her husband once asked her, "Why do you cut off the end of your ham?" And she's like, "I don't know. That's the way my mom did it." And then mom goes back to grandma, and grandma goes to great grandma. And long story short, the reason great grandma cut the end off the ham was because her pan was too small to fit a whole ham, so she just would cut off the end of it before she cooked it. But because people had seen her do that, they continued thinking that's how you make a ham. It's the same way with a lot of things in finance. We think this is the way it's always been done, so this is just the way you do it. If you can start to think flexibly and creatively, and I spoke a few days ago in a video about how Kiyosaki in his book Rich Dad talks about making money. Okay, so making money is not earning money, it's creating. So if I say, for example, I was a ghostwriter for a long time. If I help you create a book and you pay me, and then you take that book and share it with someone, and that person pays you for the book and they get benefit from it, then you have created money. There's been an exchange and a flow, and that we understand. But there's other ways of creating money. There's we won't go into all of it. I'll talk about that in a future video. But starting to recognize how money works. Playing games like Monopoly will help with this. Playing the game, the Rich Dad game, Cash Flow. That's what it is. It's called Cash Flow. Will get you thinking about, okay, how could I take a portion, that 10%, remember, at the top from The Richest Man in Babylon, how can I make that money work for me? How can I turn that into something that will bring money back to me, even if it's just little bits, kind of like interest. If you put money into the bank, it used to be you could expect, 3, 5, 7% interest back. So if you put in $100, 5% of that would be $5 interest. Well, we understand that, but it goes on a higher level. And when you can get up to those higher levels, that's where you can start to create wealth. Another thing, wealth in the recession is get while the getting's good. Right now, there are still jobs. I remember 15 years ago where I could not buy a job. I literally could not get McDonald's to call me back. You guys think it's crazy, but I remember in the late 90s when they were paying $15 an hour at McDonald's, and then the recession hit and McDonald's was not hiring. McDonald's wages dropped back down to like $9 an hour, sometimes less. And for new hires, the old hires still got to keep their wages. They didn't go backwards, but people were losing their jobs. People were getting paid less at the jobs. People that had college degrees could not find a job anywhere. So right now, while there are still jobs, it would be optimal for you if you are not in a position that you have extra money, if you're living paycheck to paycheck, you get your debts reduced and your savings increased so that once this starts to really hit, you're prepared. And if I am completely wrong, and if a lot of the other people are completely wrong, how are you worse off? If you've brought your debt down and your savings up, now you just have more that you can invest and make work for you. Number 4, wealth in a recession is created by realizing that the recession is coming, that there are going to be shortages, and it's up to you to prepare. Do not wait for somebody else to bail you out. It's not going to happen. There might be little things, but if the government sends you a $200 check, what is that really going to do for you? You need to prepare yourself to be ready. And if it doesn't happen again, how are you worse off? I am not telling you to take out debt and things like that to try to create something. I am saying prepare yourself, buy little bits extra. So I told in a previous video about a month ago, instead of buying 4 weeks worth of corn, buy 4 weeks in a day or 4 weeks in a week if you can afford it each month. So you have what you would need for the month plus a week. And if you're doing that every month when you do your major grocery shopping, at the end of 12 months, you have 12 weeks of extra food. And if you end up not needing it, then that's less you have to spend later. So it's not hurting you. I am not telling you to go into debt and do these things. I'm not telling you to neglect your children or those kind of things. I'm saying prepare and recognize it's up to you. When you see a storm cloud coming, you get an umbrella. Number 5, write it out and watch for deals. It's going to be hard. Like right now, gas prices are still ridiculous. They're still $2.40 a gallon over what they were on Inauguration Day. And that's my point of reference because that's when I watch the gas prices. I'll be watching it again when the next president comes in or this one re-ups, whatever happens. The next inauguration, I'll be watching it again. But right now, we're still paying almost, 2.5 times what we were. So prices are still up. You ride it out, but you watch for deals in other areas. I keep finding egg noodles on sale for 25 cents a bag, $2 egg noodles. Recently, there was canned tomatoes, big one like this. And it was normally like $2. It was on sale for 50 cents. That's what I mean. I'm not saying go out and buy a Cadillac. I'm saying be smart and watch for things that you use going on sale and snap them up. Just buy a few extra. I bought 6 cans because normally 1 can would be $2. So I bought, the $2 worth I would normally get plus. There you go. Realize that when a recession happens, it will take years to dig out as a country. So you need to keep at it. You can't just go, oh, well, this is where it stopped. I remember the recession of 2005 to 2009 or 8 to 9, however you want to classify it. And I remember in 2014 and 15, we were just finally, as a country, like the jobs were coming back like they had been before in full swing. Things were starting to get a little bit cheaper. Gas was still ridiculous, but there were starting to be more jobs. My daughter was having an easier time of finding things and stuff like that. It's not a light switch. The economy, it didn't go down fast. It doesn't come back fast. Even when we learn about the Great Depression of 100 years ago, the stock market crash was not the beginning of it, and then boom, everything happened overnight. This was like a decade-long process. And that's what I mean by the long term. It takes a very long time. Just like if you injure a part of your body, you may, like, the cut may heal, but it may still be tender for a few days. That's what happens in our economy. And number 7, you do not have to fully participate if you are on the lookout for ways to adjust. This is very important. You do not have to expect that everything's going to be bad. You simply have to prepare. I'll be sharing a video. You know, this is my heart to churches and ministries. If I haven't shared it already, it'll be coming in the next few days. I'm recording it. I'm just not sure in what order I'm going to put these up. But we need to prepare. Like when Joseph had the dream in the Old Testament, Pharaoh had the dream in the Old Testament, Joseph interpreted it, and he said, there's going to be 7 years of plenty followed by 7 years of lack. It did not say rebuke it. It did not say stand against it. Yes, we can do those things. We have authority in Christ to do certain things. Don't argue with me about it. If you don't like it, fine. My point is, Joseph said, this is what we do. We know plenty is here, so we build up our reserves during plenty so that when there is lack, we have some. The reality is we have seen lack in multiple things. This is not a foreign concept. So what we need to do is grab up a little bit extra. Don't hoard. Don't grab tons of it. Don't get 5 months worth of toilet paper. Get a little bit extra. And if you don't need it, you can use it to bless someone else who will. Because if you don't have the need, there will be someone that you know who does. This is what's going to happen. So we build up in plenty so that we're ready. And when we can't get it, we can just coast through until we can get it again. I hope you got something out of this. Please share in the comments below some of your ideas. And I will be talking to churches and ministries about food banks and preparation for people in need. I would love, 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 love if you would hit the bell so that you get that video, and then please share it with every person involved in food banks and ministries and all that. And I will see you on the next video. Thanks. Bye.